Ghana has always been described as a beacon of peace in sub-Saharan Africa. But the peace is not enjoyed in equal measure across in the country. There are places where pockets of violence erupt from time to time, necessitating actions like the imposition of curfews. These violence caused by land, chieftaincy, and/or political disputes, have somewhat turned such towns into dangerous places to live compared to other areas in the country. Here are 5 such relatively dangerous towns in Ghana. 1. Kenya/Alavanyo. Kenya and Alavanyo are very close settlements in the Volta region, which could have been described as another Sekondi Takoradi if they were big enough. But unlike the western regional capital, they do not live in peace. An age-long land dispute has ensured that the towns have always been in the news for the wrong reasons. The story behind the dispute is that the Alavanyos were given their present location by the Kenyas who had settled in the area earlier. After some time, some Alavanyo farmers encroached on lands not given them. The dispute is about a century old, as the first violent conflicts were recorded in 1923 with others occurring in 1983, 2003, 2004 and 2012 and 2013. The most recent one, which broke out this year, has seen a number of people killed, and some of these murders have been committed even under a strict enforcement of a dusk till dawn curfew. The situation has been so bad the Regional House of Chiefs, in April, suspended the traditional leaders of the 2 towns for failing to deal with the escalating violence. Though relative calm has returned with the presence of security personnel, it is still very dangerous to live in any of the towns, as their conflicts easily triggered by the trivial actions of each other. 2. Bimbilla. This is the capital town of the Nanumba North District of the Northern Region. It has been riddled with conflicts for the most part of the last 3 decades. It is in this area that the infamous Nanumba Kankamba War, which reportedly claimed about 2,000 people were lives, and displaced over 150,000. It is known that the war, in 1994, was started after a Kankamba man killed a Nanumba because he outbid him in the purchase of a guinea fowl. It is known that the war, in 1994, was started after a Kankamba man killed a Nanumba because he outbid him in the purchase of a guinea fowl. Apart from the inter-ethnic feud, there is also the case of chieftaincy dispute between the Ondani and Nakba Nagates over the legitimate person to be enskinned as the next chief of the town. These tensions has seen the town put under different tipres of curfews in the last 10 years. Though the curfews have brought an uneasy calm, there is every chance of violence breaking out at any time. 3. Baku. Baku is the capital of the Baku municipal area and is one of the biggest towns in the Upper East region. It has, in the recent past, become known for the violent clashes that often occur in the town. Though many of the clashes seem political, underpinning them is a chieftaincy dispute which was created by colonial authorities. Baku is a land dominated by Kusasis but was put under the care of the Nayari, Mamprasi overlord, in Nalirigu in the northern region for administrative convenience. But being an acephalous society, the Kusasis only had regard for a Tendana, spiritual leader, and have since struggled to accept the physical leadership of the Mamprasi overlord. So the conflict, basically, is one bothering on the legitimacy to rule the area and the resources that come with such power, which has turned political because the 2 Kusasis and Maprasis have aligned themselves to the NDC and NPP respectively. Despite the regular presence of security men in the area, the least provocation from any of the groups against the other ends up in violent clashes, and it does not seem it will abate anytime soon. 4. Bunkpruguyunyu. This is a district in the northern region which is also noted for regular violent clashes. Settlements like Nankpandurai, Kapamali, Tama, and Jimbal have often seen clashes between Bimobas and Nkankambas over land disputes. One occurred at Kapamali where a misunderstanding between a Kankamba man and a Bimoba man over a piece of land meant for the construction of a school led the 2 groups to engage in sporadic shootings and the burning down of houses. The most recent clash in the area occurred in April at Nankpandurai where a land dispute led to the death of 4 people including a chief. This altercation came just a week after the ceremony which was supposed to have brought an end to such clashes in the district. The area has since then been in and out of curfews. 5. Yendi. Daban. Since the death of the overlord of the Daban traditional area, Yana Yakubu Ondani in 2002, the town of Yendi, the capital Daban, has been under an uneasy calm. There existed a recurring chieftaincy dispute between the Abudas and Ondanis with political undertones. The Abudas are said to be pro-NPP and the Ondanis, pro-NDC. But death of an Ondani Yana during the early years of former President J.A. Kufuor's administration was deemed by members of that gate as a politically orchestrated move to put an Abudu on the throne. The fact that Kufuor had Abudas Vice President late Aliou Mahama, Interior Minister Malik Al-Hassan, and Security Advisor General, RTD, Joshua Hamidou in his government coupled with the inability to bring the murder culprits to book made it difficult to ignore the claims of the Ondanis. Peace in the area, often maintained by security forces, has thus become so tenuous that any misunderstanding between individuals of the two gates under whatever circumstance triggers the conflict, sometimes spilling over to other areas of the Daban traditional area.